Good to go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Little SpongeBob action. Little Mickey Mouse. Oh boy. I can't wait.
Oh boy. You're a lucky little boy. Lucky little boy.
Shut up. Ooh,
Ow.
buddy. Reframe. We're good. It is what it is. Is that straight like that?
You straight?
Yes. No matter how you ask that question, the answer is yes. In whatever context
That on
you're
lists
asking.
of things that are not going to make it in the final cut.
Why not?
Oh, no reason.
So, Micah.
In a world. I don't know about you, but I've seen a fair bit of local TV in my life. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Sunday and all that. And
You better believe it.
we need to find that. Can we find that ad
Oh,
somewhere?
yeah. I'll find it.
Is
It's got to be online.
Please find that, because I need to see that. They need to see that. We need to see that.
Yes, you do.
New York man's got everything in stock, you heard me?
You better believe it. No.
It's like the TV ads and the radio ads all kind of fall into that category. There's like some lawyers in Palm Beach as well that it's like, call 1-800-411-PAIN. And it was like auto-tuned all the way.
Like T-Pain?
And it was like T-Pain, and then they like played it on all the hip-hop channels. And it was like, oh my goodness. Know your market, I guess.
Yes. I mean, at least that makes sense, like in the context and whatever, but
it was still like so gimmicky and cheesy. It
like,
was
why?
It was so bad.
I guess the question is why does local stuff have to be that way? Why does it have to be bad?
Because they don't care.
They don't care.
Because local TV companies don't care.
Oh wow.
No,
Just call them right on the carpet. Okay.
I do think that a lot of the guys shooting that stuff are like in this business model that they just like it's formulaic. It is what it is. We've got our TV cameras. They're not film guys that want to craft this beautiful image. You know,
it's a get in, get out.
Yeah, it's get in, get out, record it, throw the graphics onto the next one.
Right. It's a churn. It's like a churn and burn kind of process.
Yeah. Although it's the only time I really like cheesy TV ads is when they know that they're cheesy. Then it's hilarious. Like there were some car salesmen in Palm Beach, Florida, and they're I don't know what the proper terms for this are.
That's okay. Just hit me with the straight term and we'll work it from there.
They're midgets and they're twins.
Okay.
And they're car salesmen.
So they have dwarfism.
Yes. And they used that to their advantage in the most cheesy car commercials ever, but it was great because you're always wondering what, like, you're wanting to see them again, and it's hilarious. But it's so cheesy on purpose.
But that's I wouldn't put that as bad TV. That's good TV. That's leveraging.
It's the bad that doesn't know that they're bad.
Right. It's the churn and burn part of the process. Cookie cutter, chunk, Sunday.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Yeah. Or the straight B-roll commercials with the indistinct family, and it's like I'm like that could have been a commercial for anything, at all.
Usually pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, and it's like, it's just like cycle it through, get some stock image.
Political ads. Oh my word.
Yep.
Like I don't think I've ever seen one like. I would say well-crafted political ad. Yeah. That wasn't like
straight up propaganda.
Somebody shouting something with an American flag waving in the background and with the
slow music
paid for by thus and such representative of the so-and-so.
It's either complete slander, like they're just bashing somebody, or it's like the slow music with the fade in, fade out with the flag in the background.
Right.
Yeah, those are your two options.
Right.
That's hilarious.
I forgot to start a timer again. So I'm going to go check that. Hang on. This is not part of our bid.
Apparently it is.
it may become part of our bit.
Every episode is gonna have me sitting here awkwardly staring off into space, waiting for Micah to come back.
Waiting for me to come and
Actually, Ryan mentioned that in the last video. He was like, "That just needs to be a part of the bit," because he saw you awkwardly get up, and I was just blank staring. That's what you got to do. You got to add the music in there.
All right. We just hit 6 minutes there, so that's the
Sweet.
intro. Right. So local TV, it's bad most of the time because it's churn and burn, it's cookie cutter, it's make a buck, make a buck, make a buck.
Yep.
Get on to the next one.
And they're paying premium money that they could be paying us instead.
I mean, to be frank about it, for sure. But
Sorry,
I don't
I'm
know
kind
that
of frank.
it necessarily. I thought you were Leonard.
Yeah, that too. Come on, Brady. You want to be a part of the show?
Up, up,
You're here. Come on.
up, up. There it is. Good boy. Come on.
Come on. Come on. You could be part of the show. There you go.
Special guest,
Featuring Brady.
Braden. Hey, baby.
All right.
What you doing? Are you on the TV?
Now, this is how you make a local ad. You throw a
Yeah.
dog in there and you're good.
Oh, you sweet puppy. Mm. That's my dog baby voice, by the way.
Oh, okay.
You have your baby voice and you have your dog baby voice. Yeah.
I thought that was just your voice.
Oh, do you want the microphone too?
He really wants some
Do you
attention
want
right
the
now.
microphone too?
He's been chilling in here
Mm.
doing his own thing for a while. He's like, all right, I want attention now.
Yep. Attention now. I will take over this video. Brought
Paul,
to you by
there you
Petco.
go. And this is how you sell a product. Here is our thumbnail.
Cute dogs. Cute dogs
Make
to
it-
sell your local TV.
Make a face for the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Dog takeover.
That's funny.
No, but do you know why it's bad? Do you know why the local ads are bad?
What do you think, Brady? Not enough dogs. That's what Brady thinks.
Yeah.
Needs more of this.
It's a head scratcher for sure. I know. I don't understand
He's
it myself.
thinking. He's like, what?
It's a head scratcher. But the local TV ads, they don't have to be bad. It's just has to be a break of form basically because
Mhm.
I call it the broadcast mentality,
Yeah.
which is that, like you were saying, like time is money, get in, get out. It's basically when you are shoved into that just pressure cooker of everything needs to be fast and expedient and just throw it on the tripod. It's safety. It's born out of safety and,
Yeah.
and a fear of
Branching
not getting. Part of it's branching out, but also it's not getting the. Some content's better than no content, basically.
Yeah. Well, those guys are, and I think you labeled it right because those are broadcast guys. Those are like news people, and it's like they're working with TV gear, but it's not like there's a reason your non-local commercial looks the way it does. It's a completely different mentality and format of shooting.
Right.
Whereas your local, that's who people think about. Like, let me call the broadcast people.
Right.
So it makes sense in that vein, but in today's day and age, there's guys like in our market and doing what we do that shoot as if it was film,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they're not broadcast guys,
Mm-mm.
and that's why they're able to kind of bridge that gap where I feel like it has kind of been the traditional Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Brought you called, what's the news station? I don't know. I'm from Palm Beach. What's the?
Well, it's your WXII or
Yeah.
KTLA if you're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's the, it's whatever the local TV is, and they'll talk about, ad spots and what that's going to cost you. And a lot of times, they'll what you'll do is you'll buy airtime, and they will say, okay, well, airtime is X amount of money, and we'll give you the commercial for free.
Yeah,
And a lot of people, I don't think, realize the fact that,
they're paying for the commercial and the airtime.
well, that's true too, but also it looks like it's free.
Yeah.
Like that's part of why it's this cookie cutter churn and burn whatever, is because that's the come on
Mm-hmm.
to buy airtime.
Yeah.
And this isn't like some expose on like broadcast television.
Right.
It's just saying
It works for some people.
there's a better way
Mm-hmm.
to make it just look a little more appealing. And on that, to that point of like just a look difference, like you mentioned a little bit, there's a technical difference between the type of gear and lighting and all that kind of stuff that is available to you working at like a TV station or something like that versus what's available to guys like us.
Yep.
In that a lot of it now to be fair, a lot of that is not necessarily the camera operator's fault.
Right.
Because broadcast they work on incredibly like tight margins and all that kind of stuff. They don't typically rent gear the way that like a film production would rent gear.
Right. Well, they have their studio cameras that they probably paid great money for, and they're going to use that thing for the next 20 years.
Right.
It's a different mindset.
Right.
And so they run the way they run for a reason, and it works for them.
Right.
So that we're not coming and saying there's something wrong with that. You know, but on the commercial side, we're showing that there's more options for the local business that wants to put a commercial out.
Right.
If you go with broadcast guys, you're going to get broadcast results.
Exactly. And like I said, that even in the gear, there's a technical difference with just the quality of the image that you're able to produce, like having the nice fancy roll off and soft backgrounds and things like that. You're not going to get that with a TV camera,
Right?
Because it's not designed to reproduce those types of images.
Yeah.
Which is the other reason why there's a huge difference between watching something like Family Feud, Days of Our Lives, any of those daytime shows, and something that you would watch like a produced show.
Yep.
Even if it's a
like there's
like a reality show.
There's a difference between a sitcom even and
like a nature show. If you think of like any nature show where they're not bringing TV broadcast cameras out there, they're shooting on Reds, or they're shooting on DSLRs, they're using REs, they're using DJI,
they're using our gear.
Yeah. Or stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
They're not using TV broadcast cameras. That's why those things look different.
Yeah, it's a different standard of technology.
Right.
And that's why, like, it's kind of a behind-the-scenes thing, but, like, Netflix has a list of the gear that you can use if you want to put something on Netflix.
Right.
It's the same thing in broadcast. They have their standard gear for broadcast.
Right.
That's why you have those
differences,
noticeable
in
differences
how it looks, just physically, the quality and the representation of the image.
Yep.
But like you said, we're here, and a lot of other people in our industry provide a different route that specifically local businesses can take to creating content and commercials for their business that can look more, dare I say it, cinematic.
I know you love that word.
It's so abused. It's not even funny how abused.
But for the common listener, they have a reference for it. So
for the commoner, and in our industry, that term gets abused a lot because it's even kind of a mystery. Like what even does that mean? If I say it looks cinematic, what does that mean?
Depends on who you are. Now, I actually made this point to a cinematographer on YouTube recently. Okay. He actually had things that I would categorize as cinematic. He had his own color grade and tone.
Okay.
And he took the time. He made lens choices, and these are like little 1 minute blurbs, right? So it's not cinematic in it's a movie sense,
right?
But in the he's being so purposeful with every choice he makes. I was like, that is cinematic in taste with the color grade and everything. Cinematic now is almost more synonymous with like YouTube-y.
Right.
Like it looks fit for YouTube, therefore it's cinematic, because there's a handful of guys on YouTube that had a style that they labeled as cinematic, or was their imitation of some cinematic form that they enjoyed.
Right.
And therefore everybody imitated that to be cinematic. So cinematic has almost become synonymous with like YouTube-y versus like what real cinematography looks like in the real world in film, and well, not even film, digital now, but you know what I mean. So
and I would draw the line. Like a lot of guys say, it looks, I would say it has to do with more like a look that guys are going for. They say it looks more cinematic, as in it looks like something that could be in a large Hollywood level kind of production, I guess.
Right.
But I think the term just gets so watered down that, I mean, let's be honest, two people sitting on a couch talking into microphones.
This is not cinematic.
This is not cinematic. That is my timer, but it's not cinematic.
This looks good. It's not cinematic.
It's not cinematic.
I do want to give, if possible, we can cut this out if you don't want to, but I do want to give a shout out to the guy that I saw for an example. So
yeah.
We can post that link right here to his YouTube channel. He doesn't have many followers. He's just a guy I stumbled across because he uses the same camera I do.
Right.
And shouted him out. But I'll post the link here, and then you guys can see an example of what we're talking about.
Right. Absolutely.
Sweet.
Love to be able to provide examples and references for people that may not know what we're talking about.
Yep.
Hence the earlier showing the ads and things like that. But basically, when it comes down to it, there's some other like intentionality I think that you can put into the local market that can really, I think, better represent a company, who they are, what they do, and do some more just engaging type of advertisement.
Yeah.
That it has more of a story to it.
Yep.
And
Storyboard it, think it out.
Storyboarding and scripting and even getting some professional actors in there. And I think the first hurdle that most local people are going to start saying is like, well, what is this going to cost me? Right. And I would say, well, probably a whole lot less than you would think.
Yeah, because the broadcast guys are dealing usually as a major corporation. Like your local broadcast people all work with ABC, MSNBC, NBC, like
CBS,
all of
yeah.
They work with those big corporations, whereas guys like ourselves are our own brand. We are a local business, and there are higher brackets of production that we do and we can do, but there's also packages designed for local business, but that the effort gets put into it to be, on par with something else at a lower level. So there will be noticeable difference between a $20,000 commercial, a $10,000 commercial, a $5,000 commercial. But if you go look at broadcast prices, we're batting in their range for some of what we do in certain instances.
Well, we can't compete with free, but no. As far as there's going to be some overhead difference,
correct,
for sure, between just getting the free commercial that came with your airtime versus crafting something that better aligns with who you are as a business and is not just quoting a fact sheet back to somebody. With you standing in front of a green screen trying to pitch your own business.
Right.
And that works well for certain demographics and certain companies, but I don't see a reason why you can't have some higher quality, more engaging looking content. Like, I'm trying to think of an example that I ran into recently. You know what it is? It's those, here's a good one. I watched a 30-minute, I think it's about 30 minutes long, short film. Okay. That Jason Momoa did. Aquaman. Okay.
Yeah, he likes to shoot red and do all that.
Yeah, and he does some of his own filmmaking and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
I got to minute like 25 before I realized I was watching an ad for Carhartt, like the pants. And I kept watching because, you know what? I didn't care. It was that gorgeous. It was that intentional. It was that good of a story that I'm like, I don't even care that I'm being sold to anymore.
Yeah, because you just want to see what the
I'm along for the ride. You know what I mean?
It was the same thing with it wasn't quite that long, but the pillow guy that I showed you.
Yes.
I was like, I have not and it wasn't like massive, production.
Right.
Like
it was well done.
It was well crafted. It was probably DSLRs and those things.
Nothing that you couldn't do in a local market.
Right. but it was engaging, it was well thought out, it was planned, it was comedic, and so it kept me engaged. I was like, this is like one of the only ads I've ever stopped and watched the whole thing.
And
Usually,
told other people to go
yeah,
watch it. Like,
because it was great.
you're like, I'm not necessarily like out to buy this product.
And I may one day because it's a cool product.
Right. But you're like, I'm choosing to be marketed to.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling other people about it, which is like, you can't buy that kind of response.
Exposure, yeah.
And that's what we're talking about when we talk about how there's a different avenue for the local market. And that's what we want to do. That's what we try to achieve with our businesses, being able to help local businesses stand out from the crowd and be different and do so in a really tangible way.
I think that's super viable too, because when you think about TV these days.
I'll be right back. Just keep going.
Okay, sure. So I do think it's like super viable these days, because when you think about TV, right, your audience for TV is shrinking anyway.
Right.
Because cable TV people are typically Generation X and up. Like, our
Right.
generation down has not really been
Cord cutters.
Yeah, we're cord cutters. So we're subscribing to different
Streaming
apps and
services.
streaming services and things like that.
We may not even own a TV.
Yeah, I literally don't have cable at home. I don't see the local TV commercials at all.
Yeah, I can't turn on any screen in my home and see local television.
Yeah. So then the question is, then where is more bang for your buck? Well, guess what? Social media, websites, and like people literally just sharing your stuff because it was engaging.
Right.
So just like you were talking about, like that was engaging to me, and I was like, hey bro, check this out. You can't do that with TV. TV, it comes on when it comes on. It's scheduled, and it's in
Right.
front of the audience that's in front of the TV at that time.
Right.
You know what I mean? But with this, anytime I want to share it to somebody or post it somewhere, that's the most engagement you're going to get. So why not put your money where the market is?
Right.
Now, obviously, there are some markets that are more geared towards TV and the demographic of that product and things.
Right.
But, you have to think through demographics and markets and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
You got to
So,
go where the people are.
Yep.
And we actually helped out a client with this recently.
Yes.
To wrap up, we had a local client. It was the Guilford County Metro 911, which is basically the call center, if you will, for 911 that then sends the emergency calls out to fire, police, EMS, and sheriff, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And they were having difficulty finding qualified leads for working there.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to find a way to get in front of more of their type of person that would be a good fit for them.
Yep.
And so rather than putting it on local TV, which was going to be cost prohibitive for them,
Right.
instead we produced something for them that kind of cut to the heart of what they were after, which is we produced something that in a very cinematic way conveyed what a real life scenario is like, and some of the things that those can't remember the name of the technical term. I'm going to say dispatcher. I know that's the wrong term.
First
but
responder.
that
First of the first
that
responder.
person who picks up the phone, their job, what they actually deal with on a day-to-day basis, and we emulated that in this
Yep.
commercial that we made for them. And then because they wanted to find a way to get it out there, I said, look, take this ad, this piece we made for you that mirrors reality, and put it in front of the audiences that you have being involved with the city and civil governments
Target
that have
audience.
their own pages, the local fire department, the local sheriff department, the local police department, the Parks and Rec division, the city page, all of those social media profiles that are already there, already have an audience, already have people that are following them that are actively involved in the community, because those are the people that are going there either airing grievances, asking questions, providing information about events and things that are going on in their community. I said, take your ad that we've created for you and put it onto those different pages. Get in touch with the people that run those different pages and have them share your content. Because I said those people that follow the sheriff, that follow the fire department, that follow the police department, that follow the city government, those are your target people that are already interested in providing service to the community and may not know that they could actually work for you in this capacity to be a first of the first responders, if you will.
And that's something I said right off the jump. I was like, I would never have thought of going and applying to work at a 911 call center unless somebody put that in front of me.
Right.
Right. And I'm not going to because I have a career. But there are many people out there that are looking for some opportunity, or maybe all they know is police officer, but there's reasons why they may not want to do that particular job, or,
right,
the Navy or this or that. And so you found your target audience, you're putting yourself in front of that client base. It's targeted marketing.
Right.
Because you have access to those avenues.
Right.
And I thought that was genius. That was a learning experience for me, walking alongside with Micah and realizing, how to use these platforms to target your audience. They had access to people that they didn't even realize they had access to. They hadn't thought of it because they don't work in that world of marketing and things like that.
Right.
And so we were able to, in a cost-effective way, produce a quality local commercial, serve the community,
right,
and help them figure out how to market themselves better.
So with that, we'll go ahead and roll this ad. Thank you for watching. We are Micah Brown Media. And together,
we're making better media.
There's been an accident. I'm okay, but the other person looks hurt pretty bad.
We have an old house. It's on
Water's
fire.
coming in. We're trapped.
Please send somebody down here. My wife's she's...
Guilford Metro 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Well, me and Daddy are fighting. I'm scared.
All right, buddy, what I want you to do is I want you to go in your room, and I want you to shut the door and stay in there until the officers get there, and I'm going to stay on the phone with you. Tell me if anything changes. Sir, the fire department's coming. I need you to go outside and stay outside until they get there, okay? Ma'am, EMS is on the way. They'll be there as soon as possible.
At Guilford Metro 911, we are the first of the first responders. We need you to join our team of dedicated telecommunicators and make a difference in our community today. For more information, visit governmentjobs.com/careers/Greensboro, NC.